Somebody asked me the other day, what would you recommend to get started on today if you need some extra side hustle money? Would it be Amazon KDP or Etsy? I thought that was a great question, and I've actually seen it posted on a lot of different platforms across the internet. So I thought today I would jump in and give you my 2 cents on what I would start today as my very first platform if I wanted to make some real money. Hey, it's Rebecca. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I love sharing my experiments and experience developing different passive income streams online while raising little ones on a flex schedule. I'm all about transparency and showing you step-by-step action-worthy tools that you can take and utilize for yourself to follow in a real person's footsteps and get real results for yourself. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, I'd love to invite you to hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, and follow along on my journey and share yours with me in the comments of all of my videos. Jumping right into the main question of today, Etsy or Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing? Which platform would you get started on if you had to buckle down and build up a shop on one or the other, hoping to actually start making some money? Obviously, I'm a big proponent of diversifying your income streams because I never want to rely on one versus another, especially when you don't have full control and any of them could disappear overnight. That said, in this particular instance, Amazon and Etsy are both big, huge marketplaces that I don't imagine are disappearing overnight or anytime in the near future. However, if you want to make digital products and want to figure out which direction to go, here are a few considerations. For me, Etsy was an easier marketplace to start on because I already had an account as a shopper, and it's made to be very user-friendly specifically for creative entrepreneurs. As the platform has grown, it has added a lot of extra bells and whistles, and it can take a little bit of time to upload all of the details about your products. However, those are just opportunities to get your goods in front of the right customer base, so they are for your benefit. While a pro of Etsy is that you can get started for low cost, a con is that it's not for zero cost. To get started on Etsy, you do have to pay a 20-cent listing fee per listing, and especially with digital products and how saturated that market is getting, you typically do have to have a good amount of listings to really start becoming relevant to the Etsy algorithm and to show your products to other customers. Now, that number is flexible, but I'd say maybe somewhere in the market of 25 to 30 listings to really just get started is what I would say off the top of my head. Now, flipping back to the pro side, if you can find an Etsy seller with a referral link, they can refer you to open a new shop and get 20 free listings of your own, and they will also get 20 free additional listings for their shop. So it's a win-win. And while that ultimately works out to about $8 worth of credits, it does get you to that position that you can start a shop truly for free. So if that sounds fun to you, I absolutely will leave my referral link below in this description, and you can use that to negate those cons and truly be able to start for free. Now, another con is that those listing fees do renew each time you make a sale or after a 4-month period if there hasn't been a sale. So once you list them once, that doesn't necessarily mean that's the only time you are paying the listing fee. You can see how if you threw 100 or 200 listings out there and for some reason never made sales, it could become costly as each of those renew. And while you do have a 4-month time period before that happens, there are costs involved, and you could potentially be losing money on the platform if you're not actively watching out and managing listings and turning off or deleting old ones that are not making sales. However, another positive with Etsy is that as a huge platform, buyers know it, they know the brands, they know it's trustworthy, and Etsy has put so much money into marketing that you don't have to bring in your own customers. They are already there. People on Etsy are already looking for specific things, and they know that they're already shopping with small independent sellers. So they are looking for something creative and clever that you're putting out there that is not mass produced on a platform like an Amazon. Another pro with Etsy, if we're talking about digital products specifically, is that you can get started with smaller format digital pages. And by that, I guess I'm getting at you can sell one individual planner page. You can sell a bundle of 5 custom coloring sheets. You can sell a page of color your own bookmarks. So each of these could be 1 or 2 PDF pages that you can post on Etsy and sell for whatever you'd like, whether that's $1, $5, more, less, enough that you know that you are covering your listing fee and the very small percentage that Etsy takes of a sale. Now, on the flip side, Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing, or KDP, has some of its own pros and cons that I've experienced over the last year. To me, Amazon KDP is a little bit more of a learning curve to get started. I would say that I had to do more research to truly understand what sells on KDP, what I was allowed to sell, whether I could use AI tools, or how all the margins worked and the cost worked. And with Amazon, I'd say there's a little less forgiveness if you mess up or violate terms of policy, even by accident. So you do have to be a little more cognizant about what you are doing at all times and be clearer about the rules of operation. However, if you are following gurus and you look into the overviews yourself, it's really not that bad. It's just a little more stringent. For example, if you accidentally used a trademark term like a Harry Potter branded something in your Etsy listing, Etsy will see that copyright infringement, remove that listing, and you'll see that it's inactive in your shop. However, if you were to do the same thing on Amazon, you're more likely to get your entire publisher account immediately terminated, and you may or may not be able to argue to get it back. With Etsy, you are also allowed to make more than one shop at any time. You just have to use a different email address, but they do condone that as an option. Amazon does not. Amazon says that you are not allowed to have another account. Once you're terminated, you're terminated. Even if you used another email account, it would be violating their policies. Now, that's not a scare tactic on my end. That's just letting you know. But if you follow the rules, you're fine. And these shouldn't be hindrances. They're just letting you know the true pros and cons, especially if you are hesitant about starting online businesses. Now, the pros of getting involved with Amazon, in spite of some of these hangups, are that Amazon KDP is truly a no-cost option for getting started. So if you are asking the question, which is better, because I have $0 to my name and I cannot afford to invest in anything, then Amazon KDP might truly be your way to go. With Amazon KDP, you are creating a book on a software on the back end. And I use Canva, canva.com. You can get a free account. I will leave an affiliate link in the description below. And yes, they have a pro option, but you do not need it. You can see so many of the tools on the free option alone. You can use that software to create coloring pages, educational pages. You could type up a whole book if you wanted to. You could create so many different designs for so many different audiences. Download the book, upload it to Amazon KDP, and Amazon will take it from there. So the pros of the Amazon marketplace, of course, similarly to Etsy, there are already customers on the platform. It's a well-known name. It's not going anywhere overnight. And on that end, it's acting a little bit more like a print-on-demand service because your book is ordered by the customer, and then Amazon takes the order, prints the book, and delivers it to the customer themselves. So you are never having to physically create your book, you are never shipping, and you never have to hold inventory. So on Etsy, your customer is downloading their own product and printing it on their own end, if that's how they choose to use it, whereas Amazon is delivering a physical product to the customer. And typically, they are still getting that Amazon 2-day delivery if they're on Prime, like they would with any other product. So, from that perspective, from the customer's perspective, I'd say there is a much higher perceived value of a product on Amazon because it is a physically delivered, giftable, well presented, professionally printed option that makes your quote unquote digital download a true, tangible good. I'd say that opens the door to being able to sell it for a bit of a higher price. I'd also say less publishers are on Amazon KDP than those on Etsy trying to sell digital goods. So rather than competing to try to make yet another unique digital planner page, you could put 365 pages together and make it a printed journal sold on Amazon and targeted at a specific audience, like a female entrepreneur or a teacher planning workbook. In terms of costs, I am not joking when I say there is no cost to get started on Amazon KDP. And what's great is that while they list your product, you don't pay anything up front. Once your book is purchased and the money comes to Amazon, they will take their printing cost and their percentage of the royalties and immediately send the rest of the royalties to the account you have on file. So they only get paid once your book is actually purchased and you are also getting money essentially at the same time. This is the same indefinitely, and it does not matter how many times that book sells. So there is not a repeat listing fee to relist it once one is sold. There is not a repeat listing fee if nothing sells for 4 months and you want to renew. So KDP does, to me, have more potential for true passive income long term as you build up that bookshelf. Because even if the books become old and dusty on the proverbial bookshelf, they could still be purchased at any time in the future as long as this program exists. Whereas Etsy sellers do need to maintain that level of activity to either be paying for renewals or to be managing them off the shelves when they're not selling. And honestly, I think even to be active in your shop to tell Etsy that you are an active seller and to keep yourself relevant in their algorithm. So wrapping all that up, what would my answer be, right? I absolutely hate when people ask a this or that question and then you get a pro-con list and there is no opinion at the end. But I will tell you, based on the pros and cons I just told you about both platforms, you can see how they are both similar and good for beginners, but there are differences. And I would say pick the one that's right for you based on those differences. Now, for me personally, here's a little anecdote about how I've been working behind the scenes on my businesses. I started on Etsy in 2020 with physical products. I had no background knowledge whatsoever. I took a course, and in my first month on Etsy, I did sell over $1,000 of physical goods. Now, before getting excited about that, know that that's my top line revenue. So that means I still had to pay for all the inventory. I had all of the costs of shipping, and all of my products were customized. So I had to sit down at my art studio, create each one by hand, and send them out. So that $1,000 was not profit. That was my overall revenue. I have since had that shop on pause and been working on 3 different Etsy digital storefronts. And each of them is in a very different niche, which is why I've been playing with them separately. But each of them is at a very slow growth. I think with Etsy, you have to be very active, very intentional, very patient to be able to stand out. And you probably would benefit a lot more if you are involved in social media and are promoting a lot of your products as well to your own audience. Whereas right now, I don't have the time or the consistency to really be doing that, especially when my digital products are on the lower end of the price range. However, on the flip side, for me, Amazon KDP, while it was a learning curve, it has really been rolling, and I see this snowball potential in a positive way for how it can be delivering me consistent income. So either way, if you're looking for instant cash, I can't guarantee you one or the other. In fact, anybody that does on any platform is probably just trying to take your cash to buy a course that they're going to lie to you about, and that's why it's instant income for them. But that's just an aside from me. I would say that the fact that I've been showing you my KDP income reports month by month is because there's actually something tangible to look at. And they're actually exciting figures, and there's exciting growth, and there's a story to be told about how to do the market research and how this can truly become a business. In the near future, I'm going to be adding a lot more content here on YouTube about my Etsy shops, but they haven't grown as fast, and they have each had their own little hurdles along the way, but none of them has made the kind of money that's even made it valuable to show an income report or growth pattern month over month, because they have all of these weird ups and downs and seasonal trends. Ultimately, that means I really say I am more invested in Amazon KDP at this time, especially because we don't know whether they will limit new authors in the future, what they'll do when it comes to AI, what they'll do when it comes to publishing coloring books and low content, because obviously more and more of us are doing that. And Amazon could turn that off at any point in time. So for me right now, I'm investing in that because it has truly shown 3 figures of income to me month by month, and I'm hoping to continue growing that. And if you're smart about what you're creating, check out some of my other videos, like how to create certain coloring pages. You can then take those individual pages from a book you're publishing on Amazon and potentially sell them on a platform like Etsy or Teachers Pay Teachers if they're educational resources, and add a little bit of income that way. But I'd say the fact that Amazon KDP allows you to create the book once and not have any cost to leave it on a shelf and hope it sells, whether you market it yourself, whether you enhance it, optimize it, or whether you never touch it again. I think for me, Amazon KDP is the way to go if you are willing to put in that little bit of extra time to learn the back end, read through the policies, follow the rules, and then follow the other gurus or just regular people like me who are sharing their experiences, and build the community so that you can help get your business off the ground running faster. That's my 2 cents. If you have experience on Amazon KDP or Etsy selling, or even one of the other platforms like Teachers Pay Teachers selling digital products, I am really curious about your experience and what your opinion is for this same question. So drop it in the comments below. I love hearing back from you, and let me know if there's anything specific I can help share in one of my upcoming videos that would help your business get off the ground running faster as well. Again, please hit subscribe if this was helpful to you. It really helps my channel to grow and be seen by the YouTube algorithm. And hit the notification bell so you don't miss my next update. Until then, goodbye.